So many folks come to Mass and think that Mass just kind of happens and begins when we make the sign of the cross and we go right into the Mass. Liturgy actually begins in the preparation, and the way we pray is really set in a tone, in a prayerful tone, before the Mass even begins. So liturgy itself begins, the work of everyone bringing liturgy and the Mass together begins with preparation. So we're here right now in the sacristy of Sacred Heart Chapel, and this is every time where liturgy begins. Going back some time, when priests used to have to vest in multiple layers, they would have a series of vesting prayers they would have to say. So every single item that they would put on, something covering their collar called an amice, to the stole, to a maniple, another little stole here on their arm, to the chasuble and the alb, and all these different things layering up. There were prayers specifically said for each item of clothing. And I think that's very important because that demonstrates very clearly that liturgy has already begun, these series of prayers. So the activity happening here in the sacristy before Mass, there's already prayer going on, this prayerful preparation of the liturgy. I wanted to point out something very interesting here on the wall, and it's this plaque over here. And this is a prayer that priests would say washing their hands before Mass, after Mass, ante missam, post missam. And so prepare for liturgy and entering into these prayers. Although we don't say all these prayers necessarily these days, we still maintain that there is prayer going on here in the sacristy in preparation during the vesting. So if we take a look over here, you see that we have an assortment of vestments. And when I train new sacristans, they're always kind of taken aback. They're not sure about the colors. Which colors do we use? And they get confused sometimes, and they grasp the concept that we have different colors representing different liturgical seasons. Green for ordinary time, and then we have violet for Lent, Advent, and red for times like Good Friday and Palm Sunday. But then there are other, of course, feast days where we also use red for martyrs, white for saint feast days, things like that. So it takes a little while to get used to that with the students. But these vestments, and I'll take out a couple that we have here. This one right here is a cope, and these were crafted by the monks in Spencer, Massachusetts. And then we also have chasubles. So chasubles are usually the main vestment used by priests during the Mass. And these were adapted from the Roman Empire for different offices and folks who would wear different garments. So basically the Roman Catholic Church just adapted all of these vestments from that time in ancient Rome and continue to use them today. The priests wear chasubles, also copes, usually for times of blessing. We just had Eucharistic adoration and benediction last night, so a cope was used appropriately for that. The students love talking about the vestments. So each one of these has a particular purpose, and it shows visibly to the congregation what the occasion is that day. If they see green, they know it's a normal Mass in ordinary time. If they see red, it's okay, we have a martyr, or it's Good Friday, or Palm Sunday. And as I mentioned in one of our other segments, we're ocular people. We worship with our eyes what we see. So this is also part of that.